Okay, I'm going to take a big deep breath and we're going to get started on today's Love and Learn topic. And then, of course, I'm going to pull cards for you guys and I'm going to get to as many as I can. I'll try to not talk so much today, okay? Okay, so we're going to take 3 big deep breaths together because I want to sync our energy up together. I like to sync my energy up with you because then it allows me to check in with you and, be able to do the readings a little bit better to do that. Oh my gosh, you guys, the smoke's really going. I thought it'd be okay, but it's actually kind of irritating me a little bit. So, okay. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths together and we're going to sync up our energies. Okay. Tammy says, happy Monday, everyone. You're in my favorite place, Sedona. And yes, that was the other thing. That's why I'm feeling so good today. I took a self-care. Greg and I went away for 4 days in Sedona just by ourselves. Our daughter went camping and our son hung out with his friends. And I'm back. We hiked Devil's Canyon. Well, we were going to hike Devil's Canyon, but it was too crazy busy. So we hiked Prince Mesa. We hiked Bell Rock. It was gorgeous. We ate some really amazing food. Felt so good to eat food again. Oh my gosh. We had wood-fired pizza and I swear it was just melted in my mouth. It was incredible. And lots of healthy salads. So I am glowing today. I feel like I'm glowing today anyway, because I just feel so rejuvenated and back to myself. So, okay, here we go. Let's take 3 deep breaths. You ready? So remember, it's the 6, hold, count, breathe for 6, hold it for 4, out for 8, 3 of them together, and then we'll roll. We'll start rocking and rolling. Ready? Remember, if you can do that ha breath on the out, you can really push that air all the way out to your abdomen and really get that nice deep breath. So it sounds a little funny, but it really is good for you to do ha breathing. Okay, that's really nice deep breathing. So here we go. And go at your own pace. We're a little different, I'm sure. Make sure if your shoulders and your neck are tight, Candy, I think your shoulders and neck are tight from all those boxes of lifting. So if your neck and shoulders are tight, just go ahead and roll your shoulders. Gently turn your neck to the right, gently turn your neck to the left. Bring your chin down to your chest. Rotate your neck back. Okay. Good job, you guys. How awesome. So good job. Okay, Amy's here. Good morning, everybody. Amy, I got my smoke going, so it's just kind of crazy. Hopefully that will end up. Okay, you guys, what I want to talk to you about today is just a variation on the same theme that we've been talking about a lot, right? So I have been talking about manifestation for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Sorry, you guys, I've got to put this smoke going that way. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so I have been talking about manifestation for quite a few Magic Mondays now. And I believe that we teach what we have to learn, right? So that's really what we do. When I was doing all those art, I was discovering what I was interested in. I was making, doing, and then of course teaching, because for me, being a teacher is really what I love to do. So I always like to teach what I need to learn. So I have really needed to learn manifestation. Oh, you guys, the wind just totally kicked up when we started talking about manifestation. And my cherry trees and my apple tree is blooming like crazy. And I just had this huge snow that just came across my windows like the sign of this huge snow of these beautiful apple blossoms just going by. It was like a cloud. So that was great. It was a beautiful sign from my team and the guides that were here. So the reason why I've been really, really working on manifestation, because I had put some goals out into the universe of what I really wanted to do and really wanted to accomplish and create. So as you know, I've talked about it. I really wanted a beautiful, clean, organized home. I needed to get rid of the extra stuff because I had way too much clutter. Not so much of the house stuff, but we're a family of 4, so everybody's got clutter there. And then obviously a lot of art things and things that I've kept for art. So we have that. That was a big thing for me that I wanted to do. I also really wanted to continue my health journey, and I really wanted to continue to release, really release this additional weight that I wanted to get down to so I could release it, because I haven't quite right-sized my body for the size that I want. So, but I gave myself some time of being able where I released, and then I was going to really maintain and then take a little bit of break and then release again. So yes, Vicki, I have considered spray than smoke. I actually make my own Palo Santo spray, and I just couldn't find it this morning. So I came in right at the time to do that. So I wasn't able. Normally I spray my Palo Santo. So sorry, but I just wanted to respond to Vicki that yes, I do my Palo Santo essential oil spray, and it's wonderful, but I got to be able to find it. Again, I have decluttered my house, but my studio has gotten cluttered again, and I need to redo my studio. That's on my list to do Wednesday, is to get things put back in. Okay. So one of the things with manifestation that I've been talking to you guys about is that there is a process to the law of attraction, and there really is a formula to it. And the formula really works. It works awesome if you do it in the order that you have it. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because you can't go back to my newsletters or some other Magic Mondays and go back to like this formula. I think the newsletter 2 newsletters ago has the formula, but really, really quick, what it is that you need to have the desire, okay? So you have the desire or the goal or whatever it is that you want to manifest, okay? So you've got this desire, and Esther and Jerry Hicks with Abraham, they call it rockets of desire, and I love it. So basically, your desire launches a rocket of desire. It launches us out into the universe, and it basically tells the universe, right? Your guides, your angels, your team, you, everything else, that you want to manifest this, that you have a desire for this. And evidence, wanting is evidence of having. You've heard me say that before. Evidence is having, wanting is evidence of having, right? So if you want it, there is a really big part of you that wants to have it. So, and if you want it in the first place, you deserve it. You actually desire it, you deserve it, and it's possible for you. Okay. So you launch a rocket of desire, you put it out there. This is what I want to manifest, right? You have the thought that I'm going to manifest this. So the thought is really important. You need to have that positive thought. And then you need to have the feeling, right? So then there's the feeling. After having the thought, there's a thing that you have to really feel. So this is why I was saying I wanted to talk about feelings today. You need to really feel in your heart, in your soul, deep inside of you, that this rocket of desire, this thing that you want to manifest, is really possible for you. And if you're feeling that it's not possible, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the idea, if you're having thoughts that, why would this time be possible when every other time in the past I've failed at it? Or, I've wanted to do this, I've gone down this road, I don't know how many times before, but at some point there's always a stumbling block there. And then it always stops me dead in my tracks. So I can't reach it, right? So what I want you to understand about that in the manifestation process, in the system, that is the feeling piece of that. And that is the part where it needs the work. Okay. That's where the work begins. And this part can make people scary. It can feel scary to people because that's the part that you got to work on yourself. But this is the part that gets me super excited anymore. This is the part of me that drew me to NLP, the neuro-linguistic programming, my background in psychology, all of the other stuff. This is what I love. Because in Jungian, it's called the unconscious, right? Or the subconscious. Carl Jung and all of that talks about the subconscious. But in NLP, it also talks about the unconscious. So there's the unconscious or the subconscious. And basically what that is our programming that's running. So from the day that we're born, from first breath, that VCR, oh my gosh, look, you guys, I totally dated myself, VCR, right? That DVR, that video recorder, that whatever it is, clicks on. So we're born and our life recorder clicks on. That's basically our subconscious, our unconscious. And then it records our entire life from first breath to last breath. And we have a recording of everything that happens. So we go through life and we have experiences, right? We have good experiences, we have painful experiences, we have the full range of human emotions. So as a child, you're going to have an experience that is going to be scary or fearful or upset or just not necessarily, not blissful, not happy. And when we have those experiences that come up, we have a way of handling them, right? So they come up to us, we get a coping mechanism, we get our primary coping mechanism, and then we start reacting, right? Reacting. So when the next time the fear comes up or the situation comes up or something like comes up, our unconscious remembers and we react, right? And that's what becomes our limiting beliefs, right? Sometimes we can get so, we run our programming so much and so quick and so long that it becomes our identity, I'll be doing interviews with clients and I'll ask them, well, how long have you thought that? Like how long have you had that thought? And they're like, I don't know, my whole life, right? I've just always been this way. And that is a key for me. When somebody tells me I have just always been this way, it means that there is a belief, there is an identity that is so transfixed, so embedded, that has been there your whole entire life, that there is no separation anymore between that action or that behavior and how you perceive yourself, right? So that, my friends, is our sabotage, right? That's where we get stuck. That's where we get caught up in our stuff. NLP, it calls it our emotional baggage. Carl Jung calls it our shadow. And that is our stuff. And then that is what stops us from believing or feeling that something can be different, that we can change our behavior, that we can change our habits, that we can truly have the life of our dreams and our desires. And that's what I really wanted to talk to you about today, because that has been a lot of the work I've done for the last year. So in May, I'm going on 2 years of Soul Star Magic, of my intuitive business and my energy business. And the first year, my guides and angels that was COVID year. And that was really, my guides and angels were working with you guys and my clients to figure out what you really wanted. And now after that, it's still, what do you want? I mean, there are people that still don't quite know what their rockets of desires are, but a lot of people already know. They've had time through COVID to really think about what they want. Now the next question is, how do I get there, right? It's always the hows. That's what we want to do. And so what I have really learned in this manifestation and mindset process is that there are hows to do it. I really have found the how, and there's tools and there's techniques and there's all kinds of help available. But what we have to do in order to get there is to feel the feels, right? We got to feel the feeling. So it's really important. One of the things I've been doing also really much is really to be somatically in my body, to really feel the feels in my body and not have my head and my body disconnected, to not have my head and my heart disconnected, to really make sure that I'm in Pono, right? I'm in alignment with mind, body, and soul. And what I'm learning is that being in alignment with mind, body, and soul is the magic sauce. It is the secret sauce to law of attraction and manifestation. So are you guys following me? Have you got that? I know you're being quiet, and I've learned that when I start talking that you're just quiet, and that's just what you're doing. You're processing, or maybe you're multitasking, but it's okay. So hopefully everybody's got that. Let me know if you guys have that, okay? So that is really what I just really wanted to talk to you about is those feelings, is being able to get there and feel the feelings. I have clients who tell me, we'll start doing, I'll throw out some affirmations for them, right? And they're basically like, affirmations don't work for me. I've tried affirmations. It's just a bunch of positive garbage, right? It's bullshit, basically. And so, they'll tell me that. And I'm like, in the very beginning, when I first learned about affirmations and I started doing them, I had a really hard time with affirmations myself. And it's because I was telling myself I had rockets of desire. I didn't fully understand the manifestation process. And I didn't understand that it was a system yet. But I understood the concept of it, right? So I got the concept of it, but I didn't understand the inner work, and I didn't understand the shadow work or the emotional baggage piece to it and the feelings piece to it. I didn't understand that energy got stuck inside of me, that when I was a kid, that these upsets or these things would happen to me and that they created energy blocks within me, right? So I just didn't understand all of that stuff. And once I continued to keep learning and keep learning and keep learning, I understood that the feelings were a big piece of it. So what I want to do is I want to give you a how, because how is really important. Okay. I've been listening. Oh my gosh, ever since I started my business, I'll listen to entrepreneurs and some of these millionaire mindsets and some of these other people. And one of the things they always tell an entrepreneur is, don't give your people the how. Go on with a masterclass, tell them what it is, tell them what their problem is, all of that kind of stuff, but don't tell them how to fix it, because the how to fix it is in the program and they need to buy the program, right? And so again, garbage, right? So I just don't believe that. So I believe in just being transparent. I believe on the Magic Mondays. I just want to give you guys as much value and information as I can. So here's what I want you to know today about feelings. If feelings are scary for you, if it's not something that you've really done, if you really are used to separating yourself from your feelings because it is one of your primary coping mechanisms, if you learned as a child, like let's say you had a father who was a big father and he would get mad at you and you were a child, you were a little girl, and your dad would yell at you. And all of a sudden you get these feelings, right? You get scared because he's just big, even if he's a wonderful man. He's big, he's loud, he's all those things. You're little. You might have got scared when your dad yelled, right? So your dad yells and then you have a coping mechanism for it, right? You either get quiet, maybe you yell back, maybe you stop and you don't say a word and things get stuck in your throat. So when it comes time to be in confrontation as an adult, things get stuck in your throat and you're not able to use your words. Maybe you just shrink, maybe you just try to make yourself invisible, right? All of those things are learned behaviors. They're learned coping mechanisms that we have when we're confronted with perceived danger or fear or shame or guilt or whatever it is. And so what happens is over time, we layer, other stuff comes up and we layer those coping mechanisms on top of each other. And then what happens is our big dreams start to feel further and further away, and they start to feel harder and harder to achieve. So the how to this and the how to do affirmations, I promised I'd circle it around. The how to do affirmations is really this word. This is a key word I'm going to tell you. There is this word willing. Lauren, if you are still on with me, in our sessions, you have heard me say this, and forgive me for pointing you out, but my guys are telling me it's okay that I called you out in this method. It's really okay. But, Lauren's had some sessions with me, but one of the things is this word willing. So if you want to say a positive affirmation, if you want to affirm your rocket of desire, if you want to affirm your intention to manifest this dream, and you want to follow up with positive talk and positive self-talk, and you just can't get there because it feels too big or too far away or too hard, if you just can't quite say, and I use this a lot on my Magic Mondays, right? Because it's one that I'm just real transparent about, right? For years and years and years, I never felt beautiful. My parents never told me I was beautiful. My father never told me I was beautiful. I didn't hear those words, right? I was a chubby child. I heard I was smart. I heard I was sensitive. I heard I was too sensitive. I heard a lot of things as a child, but the one word I never heard was beautiful. ever, ever, right? So that was a really hard word for me. And I never, ever, ever felt beautiful. So I would want to do positive self-talk. I would want to be able to look in the mirror, and I'd want to be able to say, Jen, you're beautiful. But I didn't feel it, right? Because I was over-identified with, I was smart, or I was over-identified. Like that wasn't my identity. Beautiful wasn't my identity. It wasn't my word. So what I had to do is the one word, I just had to use this word willing. Okay. I learned this word willing. And it's like, I'm willing to consider the fact that I may be beautiful. Right. So feel the energy of that. Like I'm willing to consider the fact that I may be beautiful. It's like, how many negatives could I possibly put in there? Or how many but could I stack up in there to get me to it? But I was willing, okay? I was willing to say it. I was willing to feel it. I was willing to allow the possibility that this was my truth, okay? So if you have a big dream, if you have a rocket of desire, if you have something out there that you want to manifest and it just feels huge, two things. One, you need to look at the feelings. It feels too huge. Why does it feel that way? You know, where does that come from? Is that shadow? Is that emotional baggage? Is that information that we were taught as a child? Is that true? Is that still true? Right? So that is the work to look there. And the second one is just to be willing to look at it, to be willing to consider it, to be willing to ask yourself, is that true? To be willing to release it, to be willing to set a boundary, all of those things, right? So willing is the how, it's the key. And then once you can feel it, then it feels possible, right? So impossible turns into I'm possible. I am possible instead of impossible, when you can get the feeling inside of you that it is possible. And then after that, you got to take the action steps. And then, you know, you got to keep doing the action steps, and you got to believe and have faith, and then allow the universe to do what the universe is going to do. God, higher power, guides, angels, your team, all those things I talk about will all come in. Mike Dooley has an amazing book. It's called Infinite Possibilities. And it was probably one of my best teachers of manifestation. And he talks about how your job is to dream the dream. And then in the marvelous mechanics of manifestation, the universe works backwards to make sure that the people, places, things, events line up for you to happen. But they don't line up to happen until you do the work first and take action. Okay? Okay, you guys, I hope you love that. Let me know if you have any questions for it, okay? So yeah, my parents never told me either. Must be a Kentucky thing. Definitely could be a Kentucky thing, Susan, or a South thing, a Southern thing. I don't know, but definitely true. Hi, Victoria. Okay, you guys. So let me know if you have any questions on that. I'm going to go, Hitomi, I'm going to go ahead and transition into the cards. So if you'd like to go ahead and get that lined up, I'll probably do that in about a minute. You guys, Hitomi's here. Yay, Hitomi, she's back. I love that. So she's been here, had some personal things she needed to take care of. Okay, so the other thing I just wanted to tell you, and I'm not ready for a full announcement yet. During my self-care week, I was working on it. I've had clients over the last year. I've had people that have come to me for coaching, more than just a reading, wanted to work with me in a series, wanted to work on a specific thing, wanted to work on manifestation, wanted to work on some shadow work, you know, some limiting beliefs, those kind of things. And they came to me and I started coaching, and it was awesome. I am so incredibly grateful. Some of you are here, that I did coaching work with, and that trusted me and just put total faith and belief in me. It was absolutely amazing. And I learned a lot. So I learned a lot working with you guys. And I think they learned a lot too. I definitely learned what I'm good at. I learned what I'm not good at. I learned where I can be super helpful, and I've learned where I stumble, right? So I've kind of learned some things. But the cool part is I have taken what I've learned and I've put it together in a system. And I actually have written up the information and the structure of my coaching program. It's a manifestation and mindset program. I do not believe in long-term coaching because I really believe that it's better to pick one thing and work on it, just like I did with my naturopathic doctor, where I really worked on my diet and I worked it really, really hard for 53 days. But I did it because there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I was able to start it, keep the momentum going, and finish it. And I feel like what I offer in terms of coaching packages is the exact same thing. You need to be able to be really dedicated, have a beginning, a middle, and an end, because you need to see results. And it's got to be results driven. And it's spiritually, physically, energetically, mind, body, and soul. So I'm working on that. I don't have it up on my website yet. I will be having it up there. And I'll, if anybody's interested, just drop me an email and we can jump on a discovery call. Hi, Vicki, visiting on your lunch break. How awesome. I'm glad you're here. That's great. So, okay. I'll be talking a little bit more about that, but that's what I wanted to tell you. One of the other reasons why I've been working so hard on manifestation is because I really have been working to put together a program for it. And it's things that I have used in my last 6 years of really getting to where I wanted to get. It's what really helped me be able to right size my body. It's what's been able to get my relationships in better order. It's what allowed me to be able to start my own business. Not that I am the picture perfect of success, because I am not. I am still a work in progress, but it is the steps and the tools and the inner work, particularly the shadow work, emotional baggage release work that I've done to be able to get me here. And I know, not everybody has the best life right now. I know that there are things that are people where there's some things where you're still really stuck energetically. And, just know that it's really okay. If you happen to be in that place where things could still be hard or difficult, or you're moving through them, or you're transforming, or you're changing, awesome sauce and good for you, because it always does get a little bit worse before it gets better, but it will get better. And if there's anything I want to offer, it's just a sense of hope that if you keep the faith, do the work with your guides and angels, believe in your higher power, life can be absolutely beautiful. Okay.